The phone buzzed on the nightstand, its screen casting a cold blue glow across the darkened bedroom. My heart lurched, not from the sound but from the name flashing. Lila, 2:17 a.m. Why was she texting now? Her words from 3 weeks ago echoed in my skull. We'll always be friends, though. My absolutely had been a lie, a reflex to mask the gut punch of her breakup speech. I grabbed the phone, fingers trembling, and read, "Hey, can we talk? I miss you." My chest tightened, hope and dread colliding like storm clouds. Was this a crawling back, or something worse? The apartment felt suffocating, the air thick with a stale scent of unwashed dishes and my own sleepless nights. I paced the hardwood floor, the creaks underfoot like whispers of doubt. Lila and I had been inseparable for 2 years, lazy Sundays tangled in sheets, her laughter bright as sunlight on the lake where we kayak. But lately, her smiles had dimmed, her excuses piling up like unpaid bills. "Work's crazy," she'd say, or "I just need space." I'd nodded, swallowing the unease, convincing myself it was temporary. Now, her text burned in my hand, a spark threatening to ignite something I wasn't ready to face. I typed back, "Can't sleep either." Casual, but my pulse raced. Her reply came fast. "Meet me at the diner? Please." The diner, our spot, with flickering neon sign and greasy coffee, where we'd shared secrets over late-night fries. Against my better judgment, I grabbed my jacket, the leather cool against my clammy skin, and headed out into the damp city night. Streetlights bled orange halos onto the wet pavement, and the distant hum of traffic felt like the world holding its breath. Inside the diner, Lila sat in our usual booth, her auburn hair catching the light like embers. She looked smaller. Somehow, her eyes shadowed, her fingers twisting a napkin into knots. "Thanks for coming," she said, her voice soft but strained, like a violin string stretched too tight. I slid in across from her, the vinyl seat squeaking under my weight. "What's going on?" I asked, keeping my tone steady despite the churn in my gut. She didn't meet my eyes. I messed up. Nate." Her words landed like a fist, slow but heavy. I leaned forward, the table's chip-full mica cold under my palms. "Messed up how?" My voice was calm, but inside, my thoughts spiraled. Memories of her late nights at the office, her phone always face down, the way she'd flinch when I touched her unexpectedly. I'd chalk it up to stress, to her needing space. But now, each memory felt like a breadcrumb leading somewhere dark. "There's someone else," she whispered, her gaze finally meeting mine. Her eyes were wet, but not with regret, something closer to fear. It wasn't planned. It just happened. My breath caught, the diner's clatter fading to a dull roar in my ears. I saw it all at once, her co-worker, Ethan, with his easy grin and lingering glances. The way she'd laughed a little too hard at his jokes at the office party. The late-night text she dismissed as work stuff. I'd trusted her, ignored the red flags, because doubting her felt like betraying us. "Who?" I asked, though I already knew. My voice cracked, betraying the anger clawing up my throat. She hesitated, then said, "Ethan." The name was a blade, slicing through the fragile hope I'd carried here. "How long?" I pressed, my hands clenching into fists under the table. "A month," she admitted, her voice barely audible. "Maybe more." "A month, maybe more." The words echoed, each one a fresh wound. I wanted to scream, to flip the table, to demand why she'd strung me along while she built something new behind my back. But I just sat there, the weight of her betrayal pinning me to the booth. "Why tell me now?" I asked, my voice low, dangerous. Her hands trembled as she reached for her coffee, the mug clinking against the saucer. "Because it's leaving me," she said, and I didn't know who else to turn to. The air shifted, heavy with the irony of her words. She'd shattered my world, and now she sat here, seeking comfort from the wreckage. Part of me wanted to hold her, to fix this, to pretend we could go back. But another part, the louder part, saw her for what she was, not a villain, but a coward, chasing fleeting thrills and running back when it burned out. "You don't get to do this," I said, standing, my chair scraping the floor. "You don't get to break me and then ask me to pick up your pieces." As I walked out, the bell above the door jingled, sharp and final. Rain streaked my face, masking the tears I hadn't realized were falling. Behind me, Lila called my name, her voice swallowed by the city's pulse. I kept walking, each step lighter, the betrayal a heavy but fading anchor. She'd made her choice, and now, so had I.